intellectuals on issues ranging across the spectrum, from housing policies to laws governing organ transplants, have sought to have decision-making discretion taken from those directly involved who have personal knowledge and a personal stake and transferred to third parties who have neither and who pay no price for being wrong." Close quote. So again, this counter common sense, you know what's best for your health, therefore we must make the decision in a bureaucracy in Washington.
That's right.
How?
Well, if you've been told all your life, and many of these people have, from an early age, they were in the class for bright, gifted children. They were the ones who got into the good high schools. They were the ones who were accepted in colleges that accept less than 10% of the applicants. They've heard this all through their lives. And after a while, they must, in all due modesty, believe it.
All right.
It's here we pride ourselves on what we call freedom. Okay, we're free. And part of that free, we live in a country where there are entire states where if you ride a motorcycle, you don't have to wear a helmet.
Right.
Okay, that's how free we are, or at least we tell ourselves we are. Here's the difference. If you don't wear a helmet and you're in an accident, you're more likely to die and become an organ donor, but you're not putting anyone else's freedoms at risk by doing so.
Right.
So that's a pure expression of your freedom, taking your own life at risk as a functioning, rational adult.
Right.
Okay? All right. If you now express your freedoms but put other people's freedoms at risk, that's a no-no. And so I think so many Americans were confused about them wearing a mask, not realizing that's not only to prevent you from getting sick, it's to prevent you from making other people sick.
Right.
Yeah. All right. If you don't know that you have it. And that's where people didn't fully recognize and understand what it means to live in a free country. I mean, you can do what you want, provided you don't subtract from someone else's freedoms. Mm-hmm. And wearing a mask creates the situation where you're not subtracting from someone else's freedom, especially old people who could die from that.
Right.
But I think we're so selfish, though, that we only care about us.
Even if they're told. There are people who did that even when they were told. And people didn't want to believe it was real, all the conspiracy people. So I'm saddened as an educator that we have people in this, the most advanced country the world has ever seen, the wealthiest country the world has ever seen, and we have whole communities among us who are sure Earth is flat, that vaccines are bad, that the virus is an invention by the Chinese or whomever. This is disturbing. And I don't know that we have the wisdom to take ourselves deep into the 21st century.
If they had some sense of the loss of freedom, which is infinitely more important than any of the specific issues by themselves, that is, Obamacare really is a huge step towards the loss of freedom. I mean, and it happens in small ways, but constantly. I mean, we can't have the light bulb that we want in our own home. We can't flush the toilet with the kind of toilet we want. We can't take a shower with the kind of shower head we want. We can't put our garbage out except and broken down by the way that some little gauleiters have decided that we ought to do it. I mean it's just the accretion of these things, many of which are too small to be significant in themselves. But in the aggregate, you can see the tendency of this. The people who think they know better and they ought to be telling us what to do, those people are the danger. And if you don't see that, then I'm not sure what the future is going to be like.